Well, good morning, Bitcoin man. How are you
I'm not
officially?
too bad yourself. Yeah, officially, yeah. Not too bad. All's is good. All's is good. So,
Good. So I want to thank you for the invitation for us to talk about our favorite
yeah,
thing.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, yeah. So I just wanna, before we get into it, I just wanna say like how I stumbled across you. So it was a little while back. There was a Hive town hall meeting and
Oh yeah.
you came to, and then you asked to speak, and your message really resonated with me, and I totally agreed with it because essentially it was a discussion. They were bringing up a discussion about taking away the reward pool,
Yeah.
which is sort of to me is a crazy thing to do. But again, yeah, and you were talking about that and bringing up how Hive is already helping so many different people and they're relying on this blockchain to support themselves.
There's a lot. Like in my newsletter, I have two amazing stories about how people are putting their babies on Hive. You want to talk about crypto adoption? They're getting accounts for their children
What?
because they see that Hive is
Okay.
going to be the wave of the future. The Hive username is Jabinga, and he is setting up an account. He and the mother of his child, I didn't inquire into the arrangements, are both Hivers. This is our first
Mm-hmm.
Hiver family. So people are
Wow,
like
that's cool.
making
But
Hive the
yeah.
foundation of their family life. So yeah,
Mm-hmm. That's cool.
I don't think we should mess with that. But of course, that was January's conversation. I know that there's some things you probably want
Mm-hmm.
to just ask me about me and my story on it.
Yeah, yeah, because you were mentioning that, like, well, from what I've gathered, is you're a journalist as well, and you've already been talking to a lot of people about this thing. Because I feel like we need to first. I might have, you might have, someone froze up.
Okay, can you see me now?
Uh,
See, everything doesn't
I
work.
think you're back or I'm back. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It just froze up.
Okay. Everything doesn't work as well as the Hive blockchain,
Yeah,
unfortunately. Everything doesn't work
no.
that well.
All right, I mean, not all the applications is quite there yet, but again, at the same time, it's not necessarily gonna be the most efficient form, but it's gonna be the most fair and the most secure. So I feel like
Yes.
that's really where it's at.
Okay, so my personal journey to Hive. I was a professional journalist. That's my vocation. I was laid
Hmm.
off from mainstream journalism though quite some time ago, but I took those skills with me
Hmm.
and
Yeah.
have been involved in different writing things online ever since.
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
around 2017, 2018, when everybody was hearing about Bitcoin, 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 I'm
Hmm.
like, okay, my math is good enough and my knowledge of cryptography is good enough so that it almost makes sense. And I know I
Hmm.
should be in crypto, but I need to be with people who are in crypto and I need to be introduced to crypto in a way I can understand as a creative.
Hmm. Hmm.
So, of course, this was Hive's predecessor in
Yeah,
2019, the name we don't
of
mention,
course. Yeah, yeah.
but
I was there too. I got started pretty early.
it's Hive's predecessor. It'll be 5 years in March. And so this was literally the answer to my prayers to find this. And
Hmm.
what it allowed me to do was to earn crypto and also learn about why crypto is really important and what it can actually
Hmm.
do for people
Right.
outside the legacy financial system. And a lot of the
Hmm.
people that I met on Hive's predecessor, the reason I ended up coming to Hive was that the people I respected when Hive blew up 4 years ago this month, a lot of people that I saw were really freedom minded and really had a concern for all the people. They came over to Hive. And so
Hmm.
I left some friends on the predecessor.
Hmm.
But the people who were most serious, I mean, perhaps you've noticed, I'm an African American. Don't play with me about freedom.
Yeah,
Don't play with me about people
I
coming
hear.
in hostile takeovers and all that. No, 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 no,
Yeah, I
no, no,
know.
no,
That was
no, no. I
craziness.
can't work with it. Uh-uh.
Yeah,
So
that
I
was
came
crazy.
over to Hive. And then Hive, the world was going into chaos and going into loss. February 2020 was like the last normal month before everything just went to pieces because of what I call
Right.
the panorama of isolation.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
But Hive was blossoming. And Hive still
Right,
had
right.
creativity and community. And also, as a person who lives in the United States of America, I left a lot of other social media because I was not going to have arguments with anybody about politics for 9, 10 months while everything else was going on.
Yeah,
But in
I hear
Hive, we
you. I
came
hear you.
together and celebrated freedom. At Hive, we came together and we showed each other the beautiful things we're capable of doing. And
Right.
so to me, that became my refuge. I lost 80% of my employment within a month of Hive starting because everything closed. Um, but I
Wow.
didn't have to
Yeah.
worry about it. I didn't think as much about it. I wasn't as anxious as I would have been because of
Mm-hmm.
that's just I mean that's
Oh,
just and then that's not talking about the things that I learned and the things that I did, but just that
of
Hive
course. Yeah.
was a
Well,
spiritual and a mental intellectual refuge when a lot of us really needed it. Because 2020,
right. Wow.
ooh, that's rough.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, for sure. It was pretty tough for most people. It was still sort of, I guess, getting it's still affected. Like the effects are still like, people are
Yeah,
still dealing with all that, even
it's
after
not
all this
everything
time.
has come back. Still not
No,
everything has come
no.
back, but Hive continues to thrive. Yeah, we have our
Yeah.
issues. Like I live in San Francisco, California. San
Mm-hmm.
Francisco, California definitely has its issues, and they're known worldwide. But when you are involved with it and when you love it, you also can find the beauty. Yes, Hive has its issues. It doesn't have the issues San Francisco has.
Right, I hear you.
And yeah, we get up on our town halls and we sometimes say hard things to each other and all the rest, but that's how community works. And that is the other thing
Yeah,
about
well,
Hive.
it should. That's how it should work.
Yeah, it's a
That's how it
community for
should work.
real.
Yeah, civil discourse is supposed to be
Exactly.
there.
We were able on that town hall to do civil discourse. It got rough there for a minute, but still,
Hmm.
civility was
Hmm.
maintained. And
Yes,
we
yeah.
can agree to disagree without remaining permanently disagreeable. And Hive allows us to
Hmm.
practice that. Now, I should say, in that Hive allows us to practice stuff, I would not have my most recent two books if it were not for Hive. I'm just gonna say it straight up. Okay, my fourth book
Really?
even has Hive colors. This is how serious it is. I didn't realize I was doing that.
Right on. I hear-
But I joined the free
Oh,
writers
wow.
community.
Okay.
And this is the first place that I really
Right, right.
found a home on Hive. And the administrator at that time was a Miss Marion West. Now that's someone you should talk to. Miss Marion West still comes through free writers sometime, but she's taking a little break. She handled it for 2,024 posts and daily. So however you divide that out by
Oh,
days of the week, she put in
yeah,
that's
yeah.
365 days a year. Since almost the beginning of Hive's predecessor to this year, she stayed at it. Um,
Wow, wow, wow.
she and her team, I should mention Wonder Wop, Uncle Bruni, he has passed away, but he was a major
Uh-huh.
encourager. Wake Up Kitty and Felt Buzz are still doing the darn thing. These are people that you should talk to. Felt Buzz is the inventor of the Zapfic, the 240 word character contest that takes place every other week. He also does a 50-word version now, but that's someone else you should talk to. Our community now
All right,
has
okay.
10,000 members. They have held, so that's about what of the active membership of Hive. What is that, 1/10 ish of them? Because free
Mm-hmm.
riders really nourishes you and gets you in the habit of posting and engaging in a non-threatening way daily. That's
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
something, and
Right.
if you want to be read, you better get to know some people. So that also, and then the community is like, Wake Up Kitty is like, I'm not even looking at your work and I'm not going to put it up for any kind of rewards unless you make sure that you read other readers. I need to see that you are
Mm.
engaging. So
Yeah,
they're
yeah,
very
yeah.
serious about that. They don't play in
Wow,
free
that's
riders
good.
about it.
There's no free rides with the free riders, eh?
Mm-mm. No, no. If you
Right
want
on
to get
that.
the
Well, that's
benefit,
good.
you're gonna want to do what you're supposed to do. They epitomize what I call in my fifth book, Hive's Big Four. Better not plagiarize. You better not come to the community just looking for what you can get. You better understand you need to know how to operate
Hmm.
in community. They epitomize this.
Yeah.
Um, Alien Art Hive is another fantastic community. In fact, before talking with you, I was putting up my morning, well, it's still morning here, putting up my morning
Right.
post. They have some of the most amazing, well, I should say, I should be fair here. I don't always participate in sketchbook and on-chain art as often as I do Alien Art Hive, but they have some of the most amazing artists. Hive has some of the most amazing NFT and also just daily artists who people who produce every single day. Among them is
Hmm.
one, there are two that stand out in mind because they show up, three, because they show up so often in my newsletter. I got to remind myself to spread it out. There's so many amazing artists.
Yeah.
Just Click and Diva is a magnificent fractal artist like myself, and she and I are actually collaborating today on a project that we're going to
Oh,
publish.
wow, nice.
And so you'll see that after this interview. And Caden
Okay,
Shan
nice, nice.
is in Sketchbook and does more with coffee. He can paint a sea scene, he or she, I don't know actually, can paint a sea scene with coffee and make you think
Wow,
you're there.
interesting.
And
Wow,
then
that's crazy.
Maxwell Marcus art every day. He could take your face or my face and take a blue ballpoint pen and make the world think we actually do look like that in blue.
Wow,
Two
wow,
of the
wow.
most,
Yeah,
three of the most amazing, and there are many more.
yeah,
Julia
for
K.
sure.
Consford is the founder of Alien Art Hive. Castleberry does a lot of curation. He also does a lot of amazing curation in photographer lovers. So if you're a photographer and then you love doing what you do, we have a community for that. I'm not in there
Mhm.
very often, but I'm always going through
Yeah,
there
yeah,
finding posts. And I'm just like, it's amazing the
yeah. I hear you.
amount of talent on Hive. But also these are wonderful people. These are the kind of people
Hmm.
you want to spend your time with as a person who loves community and a person who loves free speech. It's the kind of thing you want to
Hmm.
do. And
Hmm.
for me, this has really provided a refuge from the foolery. Now I'm back on Facebook and obviously Twitter. And I've finally bought the
Yeah, I
bullet
hear you.
Instagram because I'm now promoting my fifth book. But I wouldn't have a fifth book. I wouldn't have learned how to build an audience through engagement, organic engagement, without Hive. That's just not going to happen. And literally, this book here, I'll put it up on the background so I don't drop my laptop trying to get this book
Yeah,
off this other shelf. Hold
yeah,
on.
yeah, I hear you.
This book here, I wrote in 17 days. I wrote in 17 days on the platform in Free Writers. They gave me an award. Can you see that?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
But
I'll
this
wait.
book is not about Hive, I'm assuming, right?
No, it's not. But I wrote this in 17 days on in the Free Writers community.
Wow.
They gave me an award and
Oh,
I did extra content for
interesting.
them.
Interesting.
And I looked at it at the end and realized, oh, snap, I have a whole book here. Now, it's not a perfect novel because I wrote it serially, but I wouldn't have had this
Yeah.
book. And if you notice, it resembles Hive colors.
Wow.
I
Yeah.
haven't made that much
Yeah.
of a groove on my brain,
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. Wow.
but I
But
wouldn't
again, you
have
can always
this.
go back. Yeah, you can always go back and edit it a little bit to fit more together, right? Because you didn't
Yeah.
necessarily have that intention in mind when you started. You just realized, oh, it looks like I made a book.
Yeah.
That's
I
awesome.
mean, and
Wow.
I mean, really, really strong literary people, that's been the only real critique. They know that it is, they can tell. If you go out with real big book reviewers, they definitely can kind of tell. It's the only weakness that they think the book actually has. And I can accept that because that's all right. Hive is in the forward. I mentioned free writers and Hive and name names. So anytime anybody picks up that book, they will hear about Hive. It was that
Right on.
influential to
Yeah.
me. Now, my fifth book has a Hive epilogue. I literally have done my best to try to walk people through how to get into crypto. And I'm
I think
grabbing
that's the
people.
one you were mentioning, right? And it
Yes,
talks about Hive onboarding.
yes, the whole epilogue, which would be the 10th chapter, is all about how do you start on Hive and how do you do it in a way that honors the community. And of course, people are going to be interested in crypto for money. And I know this is a major argument that we have on Hive, but we have to grab people where they are. But if we can teach them how to work in community, just like I saw it, they will see it.
Hmm.
It's inevitable. But I never would have even thought
Yeah,
about
yeah, yeah.
that if I had not started out on Hive 4.5 years earlier.
Right, for
I wouldn't
sure.
have been thinking about crypto in the summer of 2023. Who was thinking about crypto except for all the terrible, poor Mr. Sam
Yeah,
Bankman Fried getting 30 years in
yeah,
prison over some foolery? But
yeah,
this
yeah,
wouldn't have
yeah,
been possible but for Hive. And I did make the
yeah, yeah.
advanced
Agreed.
copy available to everybody that I know and love on Hive at that time during that period just as a thank you. And I do have readers that have signed up on Hive, and I'm of course doing walkthroughs on how to start on Peak D and making that available to a larger audience. And so they understand the big four. Come in, do your post, do your introductory post. For every post you post, read four people, make four comments, and then do it 4 times a month.
Right, right. That's yeah, big. That's true. It's so true. The engagement, but I feel like really that's really the main problem here. That unless you somehow join Hive through somebody else, it's gonna be a it's gonna be a issue because like for instance you're mentioning like oh there's some things that you shouldn't be doing like plagiarism this that like they also don't like AI like we're fully writing posts which is could be to all fair but the problem is let's say you get started you don't you're so expected to follow rules you don't know about like that's not fair, right?
It's not.
Like
It's just like my challenge with that behavior and with that expectation on Hive is that remember we're supposed to be different. So if we're punishing people for rules they don't know exist and being very punitive on Hive, then you're not giving anybody an alternative to what they're already going through every day.
exactly.
You're being penalized for showing up. One of the things I've tried to do in chapter 10, the epilogue, is walk people through. Okay, if you come with me, then you know these things that you must not do.
Hmm.
Don't use
Hmm.
AI to write your post. Do not plagiarize. Source your images so that I'm trying to help people get in there. And for those who read the book, there is a exclusive playlist so that people can come and ask questions about Hive or whatever other crypto they're interested in. But I have done some Hive walkthroughs so that people know how to get started. And when they read the book, they understand how to get started in a way that, yes, Hive community will support you, but there are some things you need to be responsible for. And there's some
Hmm.
things,
For
and I've
sure.
even put the photo sources that are Hive approved in the book. So people don't have to start out. I mean, I spend time on Hive with newbies. I just see them because I select a few every week,
Right.
go on my newsletter. And if I see them messing up, I go in there and I'll be like, okay, heads up, try this, do this instead. Heads up.
Yeah.
I try to get there
Yeah.
before
Yeah.
Spaminator and Hive
Amazing.
Watchers have to get there. But I am trying to bring people in such a way, and I may eventually publish the guide separately. I'm looking at, okay, people who have read the book and are joining, what are their experiences? What questions do they have? I may even do a breakout course if we have a
Hmm.
process that works, because obviously I'm onboarding remotely.
Right.
I don't know who's going to buy the book, but if the guide holds up, then I can make it available to the rest of the community
Hmm.
so that people can, generalize it, make of it what you need for your particular. It
Hmm.
amazes me how many regions in the world we have on Hive. So obviously you may need one in Spanish. You may need
Right,
one.
right, right.
You may need
I'm trying to figure out when did you post the book that was
the book
seizing
was
the crypto book
the book was
or
published on
published, not post. Sorry.
October. Official launch date was October 30th of last year, and the
Okay.
Amazon publication date, it came up online faster than I expected it would, about October 25th. So we're still in the first 6 months. I've been running hard
Okay. Right on. Nice, nice.
trying to make sure everybody gets an early entrance because the Bitcoin having, well, you're a Bitcoin man, so you
Yeah,
already know
yeah.
about
I
all
have
that.
a few
I'm
more,
trying to
not
be
too
ahead of
long.
that.
Yeah, yeah, I hear you. I hear you. Right on. Yeah, I'm with that. So the reason I was asking, because I'm wondering, have you had any people that are through the book got into Hive and then they reached out to you or
Mhm.
something like that,
I
and they
was
were like,
making
"Oh, hey."
videos. Yes, I just had this happen this week. A young lady from the UK
Hmm.
said, okay, I'm on Hive. I've got through Peak D. It was a little bit more complicated in the UK. I've got some questions. can you make a couple videos to help me understand some things? I'm like, yep, I'm
Mhm.
there. Yes. I've got the person who did my cover design is also on Hive now. So I'm doing it's a slow, and of course there may be people on Hive that I don't know about because that not everybody tells you, but
No,
yeah, it's a
of
slow
course.
trickle. And so I'm
Yeah.
making myself responsible for making sure that when people reach out to me though, if they have questions, I use that second YouTube playlist to collect their questions and answer them. So I
Hmm.
expect if the book really takes off that I'm going to know, okay, frequently asked questions that people have as they're starting out on Hive. But a couple people were able to use the walkthrough and actually successfully onboard remotely. I wasn't there holding their hand.
Yeah, I hear you. Hmm. I mean, it's incredible you're doing that, and it's great. But I feel like this is really something the front end's got to be responsible for, and it should just be like almost like when you're. I don't know if you ever played video games. I'm sure you
I did
dabbled a
back
little
in the
at the
day.
very least. So when you're starting off a game, you playing through a tutorial, like, oh, do this, do that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like an easy way to, I feel like we need that. Like, obviously, they should have a way to skip it if you already know, but we should sort of guide people into this because there's a lot to it. And I feel like if we can slowly bring them into it, that's gonna lead to more success.
I agree with you on that. I know there are a lot of people who just bonk. It's a lot to learn. When I
Oh yeah.
came in 2019, the only reason I kept going up that hill is because I prayed for it. So now how you gonna ask God for something and then not follow through? So literally, I'm gritting my teeth. This doesn't feel
Yeah,
good,
yeah.
but I asked for it. So if you don't have that level of, if you
Hmm.
don't have that level, you will over. Hive is like that diamond in the rough. You will overlook it.
Right, right, right.
You
Hmm.
will overlook it if I wish that Peak D does have a video when you enter that does give you some idea about how to get started. I can't speak for any of the other front ends because I don't really use them that much. And we do have a
Hmm.
Hive learners community. So we do have a Hive learners community. So if we could just point people to the Hive learners community,
Hmm.
that could
That could
help
be a
people
way
out.
to. Yeah, yeah, that's for sure. That's
But
true.
I do wish that because we have, look, I'm just off the top of my head. I know the Hive blog, Ecency, Three Speak is a video front end, and so is Cast Garden. Um, it would be wonderful if the front ends would get together and come together with some tutorial videos. But my thing is, okay, I've learned. I turned 43 last month. As they say, you can be mad at the darkness or you can light a candle.
Hmm.
While the front ends, and of course the front ends are trying to manage all sorts of other things, like Three Speaks mobile
For sure.
application.
That's true.
You can upload a
All right.
podcast to your cell phone now, which is amazing. But while they get together what they feel I mean, that's a good subject for the next town hall, in my opinion.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, we
I
know we're
think so.
coming into the crypto bull run. We know that people are going to be discovering Hive as part of the process because we just have enough visibility. So
Hmm.
what are we doing in terms of putting together a tutorial? And of course, since I have one that appears to be working, we've got to knock some bugs out still because I got to see what's working, what's not. I'm sure
Right.
because I know some communities are doing very, very well in onboarding that we as a community can come together and look at best practices and put together what we need. If the
Hmm.
front end developers are doing everything that they're doing and they don't have time, well, maybe this is something as a community we'll make ourselves um, I just think about gumbo because Mardi Gras is getting close.
Yeah, yeah, I hear you.
Make
I
ourselves a
hear you.
big
Yeah.
gumbo tutorial and make sure that
Right,
when
right.
people come in here, they have everything they need right there. I would be
Hmm.
happy to participate in that.
Yeah, for sure. No, I'm with that as well. That's a great way to go about it. Like I personally, me and somebody that I the only really person that I successfully onboarded started something called HOC, the Hive Onboarding Committee. And we're
Oh,
just
okay.
trying to, yeah, so we're just trying to make like a community that's gonna help people find their way on Hive, explain things, and even offer some upvote support and things like that. Because
Nice.
I think the main thing is to find your community or communities or tribe,
Yes.
if you prefer. That's really the main thing that's gonna keep you coming back.
I'm a witness. I'm a witness. That's I stayed because of rewriters. What you are so on point, Bitcoin man.
Hmm.
That is exactly what happens. Because if people don't feel that they get anchored, this is why some it's like some places in the world people are bringing in their friends, and what I noticed that they do is the person that brought them in runs to find their introductory post and thank them for arriving, and then other people introduce themselves immediately. So people are making connects to 5, 6, 10 different
Hmm.
people. Now it doesn't hurt that some of the bigger whales do their best to support new accounts. It doesn't hurt that that
Hmm.
happens, but you don't necessarily know how to cash out your don't know what to do. What is higher power? And why does only half the money I have arrive in my account? And what's an HBD? What connects people is the people.
Hmm.
So I think your Hive onboarding committee is on that. I really do. Um, do you have a copy of my book so you could have chapter 10? Because I can also drop you the advanced reader copy.
Sure, I was gonna look into getting it. I just haven't gotten around to it. I wouldn't mind supporting you.
Okay, because you can do it either way. I think whatever you can use from there, I'd be glad for you to use, since I do have a process that might be of value to your committee in particular. And I have dropped members of this to people, parts of it that are onboarding new people. But
Hmm.
again, people don't always tell you how they're using it. So, because everybody's busy, we know that. But in your
Right, right,
case, because you have a Hive onboarding committee, I think the epilogue would be of a special
right, right,
value to
right.
you because of what you're doing. And I need you to send me the link to your committee, and also, oh, Zoom's telling us we're gonna have to wind this down in a little bit, but I
Yeah,
need you to
no,
send me the link to your community so that
for
when
sure.
as you make progress, I can highlight you on things Miss D likes so people can know you're out there.
Sure,
And I
for sure,
might
for
be
sure.
able to
Yeah.
put you also in my season crypto bull run newsletter so that when people come in through maybe the newsletter, that people can know when they get
Yeah,
to
that would
Hive.
be great. Yeah.
I can
Yeah, to
definitely
be
make that
honest,
happen.
like, yeah, okay, that sounds great. Because to be honest, we're trying to onboard and like we're realizing like, you know what? Like we might be better off trying to focus on people that already somehow stumbled into here and helping them because like it's a challenge. It's a really a challenge to bring people on here. And a lot of times it's like it's a big barrier to entry, like just with understanding everything and like, and also to actually get some success. And so, yeah, I really want to try to help people out there already here as well. That just are fresh people to try to keep them on here instead of trying to bring new people in, you
Well,
know?
if we submit the base will go because I see this all the time. People get here, get situated, and then they go tell everybody they know. This is why some communities in some parts of the world are onboarding people in the United States where I live.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I mean, they are running all over us, but it's because they don't think as much about it. We're individualism. I
Right,
don't know
right,
what part of
right.
the world you're in, actually. Are you in the
Canada,
United States?
Canada.
Oh, Canada. Okay.
Canada, pretty
Hey,
much
my neighbor from
not
the
too
True
far off.
North. Y'all have the
Yeah, yeah.
second most beautiful national anthem in the world. I have to say that because I've been to the
Who's the
United States.
who has the
I
all
love
right, right,
y'all's national anthem.
right on.
I love it. But of course, it's not mine. So I gotta say that. But I love that. The
Oh,
true, hey, my
that's
neighbor, the
fine.
True North. Cool. I think you're onto something in that if we submit the base, the United States is a little bit more individualistic than even Canada. So because we're such individuals, it's sometimes hard for us to, and of course, I'm an
Right.
African American, so that helps. I come from a communal background, way, 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 way back. But then my grandparents would be doing, and my parents, who are still, thank God, are still with me, but we'll be doing the same thing. If we found something good, we gonna help you. You gonna have to do some work, and you better not drag your feet. But if you show that you want this, we gonna make sure you get situated. So
Right.
I think start with cementing the people that are getting there. One of the things in the Hive epilogue for that book is okay, how do you make your introduce yourself post? Here are some communities you might want to look at. And you know what? I will send you the since you're
Oh,
going to buy the book and become a reader, I can drop you information from the exclusive
sure,
playlist.
sure. Don't,
I'll
I'm not,
drop you the Peak D Communities overview video that I have. And if you can make use of that and
and
build
just
on it,
to,
you're
and just to let you know, I think their Amazon link on the website is broken.
it is.
It
Really?
might, unless it's not working for me because I'm in Canada, but I doubt it.
I doubt that. Okay, which website?
This stuff, no, from X,
From
just on
X.
your
Okay.
profile.
Hold
That's what I was
on.
doing in the background, by the way. Because I was trying to go to.
Okay, hold
Yeah.
on. Let me have a look at it because I know I copied and pasted it, but it may not have copied and pasted correctly. So we're gonna do live edits.
Yeah, why not?
We're gonna do live edits so I can show y'all
Oh,
this is how I deal with everybody. Okay, hold on. Let me do a live edit. We're gonna update that.
no worries, no worries. I'm just gonna try to.
Hold on. I'm gonna live edit that. I think I may have had it. Oh, I see what happened. It went over one character. So we're
Oh,
gonna
like an
take
empty space?
yes, it went over. What it did was it cut
Wow,
it out. So we went
wow.
over
It's like
one character. Hold
it's
on, I'm live editing.
yeah, no
Live
worries. It's
editing.
like that. Okay, I see it right. Well, I found it anyway here.
Okay. Yeah, that's what happened. It cut off.
Ah,
It cut off the link. Okay. Thank you for letting me know that.
yeah, no
'Cause-
worries. Right on. Okay, sweet. So yeah,
all right. Thank you kindly. Nothing ruins your credibility like a broken link.
yeah, I hear you.
Thank you kindly. All right. It is correct now. I
Okay.
really do appreciate that.
Yeah, no
Okay.
worries, no
It's all
worries.
good. Okay. So what
Right
I'm going to
on. You
do,
got
let me recap because I run my mouth, but I got to actually remember.
I
I
hear
will
you.
send you my Hive Communities overview so that you have it. You have the book so you can look at the 10th chapter.
Yeah,
And of
yeah,
course, I'm available on, well, it's actually the epilogue, but um, I'll send you the communities overview since you are now in our exclusive reader class of folks. And
yeah.
if anything else, you can reach me on Twitter or on Hive itself because I'm very interested in us stabilizing our base and adding new. And if I can be of any kind of assistance to you, and I'll keep you up informed about how people process through the process.
Okay,
I
that
think it
would
is a
be
little.
awesome. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
I love this cross-border collaboration. This is
Yeah,
the
yeah.
United States
I
and
hear
Canada
you.
together. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, yeah. Because I really, what I wanted to really do was I wanted to try to get in, keep in touch with the people that like just recently joined Hive so even if they don't stick to it, that maybe you can like interview them somehow and be like, oh, hey, what happened? How come you like, what was the problem or this and that?
Okay,
So
what
just
I'll do to help you with that, there are, and I mentioned these in the book, but of course I can't do it off the top of my head, but I know there are 3 or 4 big hashtags that people that are new come. So if you check those hashtags on Peak D every week, you'll see all the new people that are introducing themselves or doing their introduction
Mhm,
post. So if you wanted to
mhm.
be able to reach out to people like the terminal, Hey Have You Met is actually very good at this. I don't know if you know the folks from Hey Have You Met, but Hey
The
Have You Met,
terminal I've stumbled on not too long ago.
they're very good at this, but there's just 2 or 3 people doing it, and so they would probably be glad to see someone else helping with it. But reaching out to people and giving them basic understanding. So if you use those keywords, you can find people who are just coming in. And if you have your plan and what you want them to know about and places you can point them, you literally day by day could use those 4 keywords and catch everybody coming in. Now, English is the biggest language. Spanish is the next biggest language, so you might want to
Hmm.
partner with someone who speaks Spanish very well.
Hmm.
Um, German, I think, is third.
Really?
I think
Okay.
German is third, and I don't speak German well enough to be able to keep up, but I can do Google Translate. Yeah, I do
Right,
speak
right,
German
right.
well enough to be like, okay, let me make sure I'm not insulting you accidentally because I missed
Uh-huh.
my spelling there. But I know it well enough to know what I can read back and forth.
Okay, right on.
I'll send
That's
you a
awesome.
list of keywords so you can
Okay,
just, you
perfect. I
have a committee that
appreciate
works
that.
on
Thank
this
you.
so you can find these folks.
Perfect. Thank you. That's awesome.
Okay, well, Zoom is
Yeah,
saying we got to get out of here in 2 minutes,
yeah, yeah.
but
Sounds
I'm
good.
so glad we were able to
Yeah,
connect. This is
likewise.
so
It was awesome. Yeah,
wonderful.
yeah. It was great to talk to you and very informative.
Okay,
All
and
right.
like I said, I don't know if you're archiving these things, but if you want to share it on your Twitter, I'll share it on mine. We'll put that beautiful Hive hashtag on it. I'll send you the
Sure, sure.
recording.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I don't mind. Yeah, that's awesome.
Does YouTube work for you? A YouTube link work for you for sharing it, or do you want the
Yeah,
raw
yeah,
video?
for sure. That's yeah.
Okay, all
Well,
right. I'll make
YouTube is
that happen.
okay.
Okay, I'll make that
All
happen
right, sounds
in a
perfect.
couple days, okay? Because I got stuff I got to get on and do.
Yeah,
But
no, no, naturally. Don't no pressure. It's all good. All
okay,
right.
you have a
Okay.
wonderful
Take
day
care. It
now.
was a
And
pleasure. We'll
again,
we'll stay in touch. You too.
all
All
right,
right. Looking forward to
bye.
the resources. All
I'm
right.
going to
Take
send
care.
those to
Bye.
you on Twitter coming up next.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah,
bye.
no worries. All right. Talk later. Take care. Have a great day.
You too.
Bye bye.
Bye.